All right, take a look at what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social this morning. Elon is doing a great job, but I would like to see him get more aggressive. Remember, we have a country to save, but ultimately to make it greater than ever before. MAGA. There are so many things wrong with what he said, but let's start with Elon Musk is doing a great job, for starters. Trump and Musk have been boasting about DOGE's supposed success with all their cost cutting across the U.S. government. Well, this week, DOGE is bragging about saving $55 billion. But according to analysis from multiple news organizations, that number is wildly inflated. DOGE claims it saved $7.2 billion by canceling over 1,000 contracts. But when the Washington Post looked closer, they found something ridiculous. Many of those contracts were already finished and fully paid. You can't cancel something that's already over. Politico found even more glaring issues. Some single pots of money were counted multiple times, inflating savings by 2, 3, or even 4 times. And DOGE has already had to correct its website twice. Once around the time New York Times caught an $8 million contract falsely listed as $8 billion. And again, after it removed a $655 million contract that had been counted 3 separate times. So much for all of Musk's claims that DOGE provides full transparency. And that takes us to another glaring issue. Trump and his White House cannot agree on whether Musk is the one actually running DOGE. When Trump signed the executive order on day one, he didn't name a leader, just some administrator. On Monday, the White House tried to clear things up with a legal filing that read, Mr. Musk is not the U.S. DOGE service administrator. But Trump keeps contradicting his own administration, and many Republicans are following his cues and also crediting Musk, opening themselves up to some legal scrutiny. All of this controversy did not stop Elon Musk from stealing the spotlight at CPAC on Thursday with this stunt.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
That cringeworthy moment comes from someone who's officially not part of the U.S. government. And worst of all, he is making a complete mockery of the damage his cost cutting has actually done to everyday Americans in the real world. Remember, the second part of Trump's post this morning, we have a country to save, but ultimately to make it greater than ever before. Thousands of federal workers have been fired in the past few weeks and will now be seeking unemployment benefits. And hours ago, Musk tweeted that all federal employees will receive an email asking what they got done last week. In a statement, a spokesperson for the Office of Personnel Management said this summary will be due by the end of the workday on Monday, and agencies will determine next steps. And this comes after Trump gutted the IRS in the middle of tax season, which will likely delay refunds for millions of Americans, many of whom rely on that check as their biggest payout of the year. At the USDA, crucial bird flu response teams were wiped out. Now the Trump administration is scrambling to rehire them. American farmers are also feeling the fallout as key USDA projects have been derailed. The CDC even cut a healthcare program for 9/11 first responders. The Trump administration reversed it after Republicans pushed back. And DOGE isn't stopping here. In fact, far from it. The department is also going after Medicare and Medicaid. Some Americans are already seeing their medical costs spike. Then there's the Pentagon, where thousands will soon be laid off, a planned mass purge which will make America undoubtedly less safe. The bottom line is this. Elon Musk is getting praised by Donald Trump for decisions that are actively making people's lives worse. And he is treating it all like a game, tossing darts every day and just kind of seeing what sticks out there. But the mistakes, the damage, the backtracking, it's all going to catch up with Trump eventually. Because a lot of the people suffering from these choices live in the same states that ultimately put him in the White House. Joining me now is comedian Jason Selvig, one half of the comedy duo The Good Liars, Dino Badalla, MSNBC daily columnist and host of SiriusXM's The Dino Badalla Show, and Julia Roginski, a Democratic strategist and author of the Salty Politics newsletter on Substack. Julia, I'll start with you. Musk posted on X that federal employees will receive an email asking what they got done last week. He threatened that failure to respond would be taken as a resignation. And shortly after that, NBC News reported those emails started going out already with softer language than what Musk used. What is the thinking here after all the bad press he has received for firing the wrong people?
I don't think he cares. I don't think Trump cares. And frankly, I think all of us who are making a big deal out of this are kind of misdirecting our energy, because whatever they attest publicly, whatever they say before a judge, all of that is irrelevant, because Trump will do whatever he wants to do, and Elon Musk will do whatever he wants to do. The only solution to this is an election in 2 years. Short of that, there's really nothing more to be done other than our leaders finally saying very strongly that they will not cooperate one iota with any Republican who allows this to go forward. And that means no votes for the budget, no votes for the debt ceiling hike, nothing until this ends. But if we're sitting here thinking that any bad publicity from any of us is going to somehow deter Donald Trump or Elon Musk, all they're going to tell us is to cry harder. All they're going to tell us is that they're doing this to own the libs, or whatever other stupid phrase that they all thrive on, because they're basically 12-year-old boys who like taunting thinking adults. And that's never going to change until they're voted out of office.
Let me just follow up on that really quickly, Julie. So where should our attention be right now? Is it just simply looking ahead for 2 years and putting the pressure on Democrats to step up to the plate, or what should it be focused on?
Our attention, of course, should be to expose all of this. Our attention should be to speak to Trump voters who are going to feel this very, very viscerally, very shortly, if they haven't already, and explain to them that this is the hands of a president they helped to elect. They should maybe rethink that decision the next time an election rolls around. But most importantly, what we should do is, as not us, but put pressure on our leaders in Washington not to cooperate one iota with the Republican Party on the Hill until they, who are in the majority, put a stop to this. If they're going to acquiesce to this behavior, if they're going to acquiesce to harming their constituents and the constituents of Democratic representatives and senators, then there's no way in hell that we should ever cooperate with them on any single priority that they have, including the budget that's coming up in the next several weeks.
All right, Jason, let me get your thoughts on what we saw on over the last couple of days of CPAC. I was going to say like on one specific day, but I'll let you kind of take your pick about it. I mean, what do you make of like Elon Musk with the chainsaw, the president of Argentina, who somehow spends a lot of time in America for a foreign leader who's running his own country? I wonder if the constituents in Argentina are wondering where their president is, why he's always like popping up. It's like an inauguration one day, Mar-a-Lago the other day, CPAC the other. What do you make of it all?
Well, I think when Elon Musk went on stage and took the chainsaw and yelled, "Chainsaw, yeah!" I think that was the moment that Elon Musk truly became president. Honestly, I just want to say this season of America sucks. Like, the main storyline is the richest man on earth, a guy who wants to put implants in people's brain, is in the White House with the president, who is a former competition reality show host. Like, America feels like it's jumping the shark a little bit. But Elon Musk, he's spent $300 million to help Trump get elected. You think he could buy an actual title? I think Trump said he was just a patriot today. And just to go in the numbers here, I looked at this earlier. He spent $300 million to help elect Donald Trump. Elon Musk has $390 billion. So $300 million is less than 0.01% of his net worth. And if you're a Trump supporter and your net worth is $100,000 and you gave Trump $10, you would have given more of your net worth than Elon Musk did. So Elon Musk is there at CPAC, and we were just there yesterday filming. The people there loved him. They were doing, like, you're watching that, we're watching this, we're like, this is really cringe, this is hard to watch. People are doing impressions of the chainsaw like it's the coolest thing in the world now. So it didn't turn anybody off at CPAC for sure.
So joking aside, that's an important point, right? Because now this country is so siloed off in terms of information. So if I was to pick up on what Julie was saying and what Jason is saying, and we're talking about what Elon Musk is doing with DOGE, the numbers, as we just kind of ran through and as the reporters are diligently doing, they don't add up. The numbers of what he's saying and boasting about, it's not true. It's not accurate. That doesn't matter, though, to his constituents, because they're hearing it from their side, and their side doesn't fact check it. Their side is not trying to hold Elon Musk accountable or saying, hey, DOGE is not actually doing what it claims to be doing. And yet we're trying to put a spotlight on it and say to the American people, wait, hold on. This may in principle sound good. Everybody wants to cut waste. Everybody wants to cut fraud. That's not what DOGE is doing.
It's not. And first of all, by the way, the chainsaw, how did the Argentinian president get that into the country? Did he check that on the flight? Was that carry-on luggage? I can't bring any kind of weapon. He's got a chainsaw. He's the president of Argentina.
I want to see you try to get on a plane with a chainsaw. Let's see how that ends for you.
He's got a chainsaw. We need to check. Yeah, I got to declare. I got a chainsaw. Elon Musk talks about transparency. He's wearing sunglasses inside so you can't see his eyes. How about transparency begins with taking your sunglasses off so we can see how much ketamine that you have ingested? That's what's running DOGE, industrial strength ketamine. And I love he wants everyone who works for the government to send him an email. There are 3 million government employees. I hope Elon Musk has a big enough inbox, or his young guys who can go through that to say what they did for the last week. They're going to lie. Look at Donald Trump this week, Wednesday. Remember the lie about USAID and $50 million, condoms, going to Gaza? We talked about it. This week, Trump repeated that and literally upped it in this speech, saying $100 million went to Hamas for condoms. I'm not exaggerating. That's not a joke. He literally said that Wednesday at the event in Miami when trying to undermine Social Security. So me, the bigger concern now is they're using that playbook of lies to justify cuts everywhere, and they're coming for Social Security. People should see that. Because Donald Trump and Elon Musk talked about 20 million people who are dead on Social Security. You don't need an act of Congress to have Trump's Social Security administrator go, oh, millions are fraud. And then the burden's on you to go hire a lawyer to get your Social Security benefits. And they know that. They're up to no good. And that's why you're having the reactions at the town halls. They're yelling at Republicans. That's a great thing.
And just to be clear, I don't know why Elon Musk was wearing sunglasses indoors. I mean, that's maybe your theory, but I have no reason to believe that he was. You're saying it. I don't know.
Take the glasses off, Elon. You want to be transparent? Let's see your eyes.
Okay, if that's a valid question. You're just asking the question.
I'm not saying he's not.
Just asking questions. Yeah, you sound like Trump on Fox and Friends talking about Obama's birth certificate.
You're going to tax me for asking questions.